like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so get ready, because today we're diving headfirst into a Thanksgiving Day football fiasco.
Oh, yeah.
One that left Bears fans, well, let's just say, feeling anything but thankful.
I can imagine.
We're dissecting that final play against the Lions, the one that could have tied the game, but instead sealed their fate. We've got this news article breaking down the play itself and every head-scratching decision that went into it.
I was thinking it'd be good.
So whether you're a diehard football fan or just love a good what were they thinking moment, buckle up.
I'm ready.
Because we're about to break this whole thing wide open.
You know what's really interesting about this is how this one play, it kind of sums up the entire Bears season so far.
Oh, yeah.
They make this incredible comeback.
Right.
But then those last few seconds, everything just falls apart.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Makes you wonder if there's something more going on, like some deeper issues beyond just one bad call.
Okay, so let's rewind to those final agonizing seconds.
Right.
The Bears are down 23-20, and they've somehow managed to claw their way into Lions territory.
Against all odds.
A field goal ties the game, sends it into overtime, gives them a fighting chance, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But on 2nd and 20, meaning they need 20 yards for a first down,
Right.
quarterback Caleb Williams gets sacked, loses 6 yards.
Ouch.
Now, with about 30 seconds left on the clock,
Okay.
any coach worth their salt would call a timeout to strategize.
Absolutely.
But not the Bears. They rush to the line, snap the ball with only 6 seconds left.
No way.
The pass falls incomplete. Game over.
You've got to be kidding me. Strategically speaking, this is where things get really interesting.
Yep.
To really grasp why this decision was so baffling,
Yeah.
you have to consider the situation. They had just fought their way back from a 16-point deficit.
Right.
They had the momentum. They were in field goal range. A timeout would have given them the chance to regroup
Right.
and execute a play with a way higher chance of success.
It's like they panicked under pressure.
It really seems that way.
So naturally, everyone wants to know what Coach Eberflus was thinking.
Of course.
And his explanation, well, let's just say it raises more questions than it answers.
So what did he say?
He insists he had a plan,
Okay.
which was to try and gain a few more yards to make that field goal easier,
Hi.
and then call a timeout.
Okay.
He thought the play clock would reset to 18 seconds after the sack,
Wait, really?
which is totally wrong.
Yeah, it stays at 40 seconds in that situation.
Right. So already we've got a misunderstanding of a pretty basic rule.
Yeah, that's a bit concerning.
He even said they were planning to call a timeout with under 12 seconds left, but by then it was obviously too late.
Hey, no kidding.
So the head coach didn't know a fundamental rule about the play clock.
Wow.
That's a little alarming, don't you think?
It does make you wonder about their level of preparedness.
Right. If the coach isn't clear on the rules,
Right.
what does that say about the team's overall, readiness?
It's not a good like.
And this next detail is going to blow your mind.
Okay, I'm listening.
It turns out quarterback Caleb Williams actually changed the play at the line of scrimmage because the clock was winding down.
Oh, wow, that changes things.
Now, this adds a whole new layer of complexity to this.
It does.
Changing the play at the last second like that is already risky enough.
You're sure.
But get this, Williams claims he had zero communication with the coaches because his helmet didn't have a microphone.
Seriously?
He was basically out there calling his own shots. He said he was trying to give his receiver a chance at a game-winning touchdown.
I mean, I get the ambition,
Yeah.
but that's a huge gamble.
So not only was the head coach clueless about the play clock, but the quarterback is out there making game-changing decisions without any input from the sidelines.
This is unbelievable.
It's like a total communication breakdown.
Yeah, it really is. You
Yeah.
got the coach working with the wrong information about the clock, and the quarterback is basically freelancing on the most important play of the game.
Right. It's like a recipe for disaster.
It really is, and it raises questions about the team's overall preparedness. Not just strategy, but
Yeah.
technology, too.
Right. You would think in this day and age with all the technology in the NFL
Right.
that a quarterback would be able to talk to his coach on every play.
Especially in those crucial final seconds.
Exactly. Imagine if Eberflus could have stepped in, maybe steered Williams towards a safer play,
Yeah.
one to just get them closer for a field goal.
It's a fascinating what if, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would that one little tech detail have actually changed the outcome of the game?
It's crazy to think about.
We can't know for sure, but it definitely highlights how important even the smallest factors can be in a game.
Absolutely.
These tiny details can decide the fate of a game, a season, even an entire franchise.
And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Bears were actually dominating that second half.
They were.
They were down by 16 at halftime, and they clawed their way back.
It was impressive.
Williams was throwing these incredible passes. The team was energized. It looked like they were going to pull off this amazing comeback.
And that's what makes that final play so frustrating.
I know.
They had the momentum, the talent, the opportunity, and then it all just crumbles because of these seemingly avoidable mistakes.
It really makes you wonder what happened in those last 70 seconds.
Yeah, what caused that total meltdown?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Me too. What stood out to you?
Honestly, what struck me most was that Williams, this young quarterback, he took it upon himself to change that play without any way to talk to his coach.
Right.
Was it a rookie mistake, a moment of overconfidence, or maybe just a desperate attempt to be the hero?
Who knows? It's impossible to say for sure what he was thinking at that moment.
Yeah.
But it speaks volumes about the pressure that these athletes are under.
Especially in a game like this.
Exactly. Especially a high-stakes game like this.
And remember, this wasn't just any game.
Right.
It was Thanksgiving Day, a national stage, a rivalry game against the Lions.
The pressure was definitely on.
The stakes were sky high. The pressure was immense.
Absolutely.
And while Eberflus did take responsibility for the loss, he praised the team's fight.
He did.
You can't help but wonder if this loss was a symptom of something bigger.
Yeah.
Something deeper than just one bad play or one coaching decision.
It's a valid point, especially when you look at the Bears' recent track record.
Right. They've been struggling for a while, haven't they?
Yeah. This loss actually makes it 6 losses in a row.
Oh, wow.
And according to this article, the Bears have started the season 4-8 or worse for the past 4 seasons.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Yeah.
That's the longest active streak of that kind in the whole NFL.
So this isn't just a fluke. This is a pattern.
Exactly. This isn't just a blip on the radar. This is a trend.
4 straight seasons starting that poorly, that's got to be weighing on the team, the coaches, the fans, everyone.
It's a heavy burden to carry.
It's like this dark cloud hanging over them.
Yeah.
Is this just bad luck, or is there something more fundamental holding them back?
That's a question worth exploring. This final play, as strange as it was, might just be the tip of the iceberg. We need to dig deeper into the Bears' recent past.
Oh, okay.
Look for patterns in their performance. Analyze their coaching decisions.
Right.
And really try to understand what's at the root of these struggles.
When you put it like that, this Thanksgiving Day debacle becomes even more interesting.
It does.
It's like this one play has unlocked all these questions about the state of the Bears franchise.
Exactly.
We need to figure out if this is just a rough patch they can overcome.
Yeah.
Or if there are more systemic issues that need to be addressed.
And that's exactly what we're going to do in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay. Sounds good.
We'll take a closer look at the Bears' recent history, analyze their performance trends, and see if we can find any clues to explain their current predicament. Stay tuned, because things are about to get really interesting.
Okay, so we've established that this Thanksgiving Day loss wasn't just some random fluke.
Right.
It's part of this bigger pattern of struggles for the Bears.
Yeah, it's
4 straight seasons starting 4-8 or worse.
tough streak.
That's got to be taking its toll on everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
But what I find interesting is even within this game, there were these glimmers of hope.
Right.
Moments where it looked like they might actually pull it off.
You're absolutely right. Their second half performance was remarkable.
I know.
Especially considering how badly they played in the first half.
Right.
They were down by 16 points.
Yeah.
They could easily just given up.
Totally.
But instead, they rally, they fight back with this incredible determination.
It makes you wonder what changed for them in that second half.
Right. Like, did Eberflus give some amazing pep talk in the locker room?
Yeah, or did Williams suddenly unlock some hidden potential?
We can't know for sure what happened at halftime.
Yeah.
But we can analyze their on-field performance.
Okay.
One turning point that stands out is their third-quarter touchdown drive.
Oh, yeah.
A 12-play, 75-yard masterpiece orchestrated by Williams.
It was
He was completing passes left and right, reading the defense perfectly.
He was on fire.
And showing incredible composure for such a young quarterback under that kind of pressure.
I remember that drive.
Yeah.
It was like someone flipped a switch.
Right.
Suddenly they're moving the ball with such precision.
Yeah.
The receivers are making these amazing catches.
It was a thing of beauty.
And their offensive line is giving Williams all the time he needs to make plays.
Exactly. And it wasn't just individual brilliance either.
Right.
This was a total team effort.
Yeah.
The entire offense was clicking, operating as one unit.
It was amazing to watch.
It was a glimpse of what this Bears team is capable of when they're firing on all cylinders.
But then the question is, why couldn't they keep that momentum going?
Right.
What happened in the fourth quarter that caused them to unravel like that?
That's the million-dollar question.
I know.
It could be a few things.
Okay.
Fatigue might have played a role.
They did use a lot of energy on that comeback.
Exactly.
And maybe they just ran out of steam.
We also have to consider that the Lions made some adjustments on defense.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They started putting more pressure on Williams,
Right.
disrupting the Bears' rhythm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about those critical mistakes,
Right.
especially that final play.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they had kept up that offensive momentum,
Right.
those errors could have easily cost them the game.
Absolutely. Every mistake matters.
It's like they had two different teams out there.
I know, right.
The dominant force we saw in the third quarter.
Right.
And then this error-prone squad in the fourth.
Yeah. It's frustrating to watch.
It is.
This kind of inconsistency, you see it a lot with teams that are still trying to find their identity.
Right.
They have these moments of brilliance, these flashes of their true potential,
Yeah.
but they haven't quite figured out how to perform at that level consistently.
So how do they bridge that gap?
Right. How did they become the team we saw in that third quarter?
Yeah. The team that seemed like it could overcome anything.
That's the challenge Eberflus and his staff are facing.
What do they need to do?
They need to find a way to bottle that third quarter magic.
Okay.
Analyze what works so well.
Yeah.
And figure out how to replicate it consistently.
Right.
Maybe it means tweaking their offensive strategy, maybe focusing on player development,
Okay.
or even addressing any underlying issues with the team's culture.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned team culture.
Yeah.
I've heard some analysts saying that the Bears' struggles might be connected to a lack of leadership.
Yeah.
Or even a sense of complacency within the organization.
It's definitely possible. When a team goes through these long losing streaks,
Right.
it can create this negative atmosphere that's tough to shake off.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Players might start doubting themselves.
Yeah.
Coaches might hesitate to make those bold decisions.
Yeah, they get scared to take risks.
And the whole organization can get stuck in this rut.
It's like they're trapped in this vicious cycle.
Exactly. And they need something to break free.
Yeah, they need a catalyst.
Maybe this Thanksgiving Day loss, as painful as it was,
Right.
maybe this could be that catalyst.
It's definitely a wake-up call.
It is. It's a stark reminder that talent alone isn't enough to win in the NFL.
You need more than just talent.
You need skill, strategy, discipline, and a winning mindset.
And speaking of strategy,
Yeah.
let's circle back to Eberflus's explanation for not calling a timeout on that final play.
Okay.
He kept saying he had a plan,
Right.
but his understanding of the play clock was clearly wrong.
It was a major blunder.
And then you have Williams changing the play without talking to the coaches.
Yeah.
It's like a comedy of errors, but with serious consequences.
It really is a perfect example of how a lack of attention to detail and communication
Yeah.
can completely derail even the best laid plans.
It's crazy.
You've got a head coach working with bad information,
Right?
a quarterback making a risky call without any input,
Yeah.
and they don't even have the technology to adjust in real time.
It's mind-boggling.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It really highlights the importance of leadership,
Absolutely.
both on and off the field.
On and off the field, for sure.
If the head coach doesn't even know the rules,
Right.
if there's no communication between the coaches and the players,
Right.
and if the team doesn't even have the tech they need to communicate effectively,
It doesn't matter how talented they
Jack's setting them up to fail.
It is.
Yeah.
This goes way beyond just one play or one game.
Yeah.
This points to a fundamental need for the Bears to completely rethink their approach to leadership, communication, and preparation.
They need a total overhaul.
They do. They need to create a culture where everyone's on the same page,
Okay.
where the rules are understood,
Yeah.
and where communication is crystal clear and consistent.
It's almost like they need to hit the reset button.
Yeah, like a system reboot.
Analyze what's not working,
Yeah.
figure out where they're falling short, and make changes at every level.
Top to bottom
It's
changes.
a big task.
It is a daunting task.
But, you know, it's easy to get caught up in the negativity,
It is.
especially when a team has been struggling for as long as the Bears have.
It's hard to stay positive.
But they do have a lot to work with.
They do.
They have a young, talented quarterback in Williams,
He's potential.
a dedicated coaching staff,
They're trying their best.
and a loyal fan base that's desperate for a winner.
Those fans deserve a winning team.
And even in their losses,
Yeah.
there have been those glimmers of greatness.
Those moments of hope.
That third quarter performance against the Lions is a perfect example.
It is. If they can build on those moments, refine their strategy, and cultivate a winning culture,
Yeah.
they might just surprise everyone.
It's like they have all the pieces of the puzzle.
They do.
They just need to figure out how to put them together.
And that's the real test of leadership, isn't it?
It is.
It's about taking those raw ingredients, those flashes of brilliance, and molding them into a powerful, cohesive force.
It's a fascinating challenge.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm curious to see how the Bears respond in the coming weeks and months.
Me too.
Will they crumble under the weight of their struggles?
Yeah.
Or will they use this as fuel to rise above and redefine themselves?
That's the question we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going to delve deeper into the historical context, analyze the patterns in those losing streaks, and see if we can uncover any insights that might point to a way forward for this struggling franchise. Stay tuned for the final part of our Bears deep dive.
So we've talked about that disastrous final play,
Yep.
the questionable coaching decisions,
Right.
and the Bears' frustrating inconsistency.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
But to really grasp their current situation,
Yeah.
we need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
The article pointed out something that really stuck with me.
What's that?
It mentioned the Bears starting 4-8 or worse for the past 4 seasons.
Oof. Yeah, that's
That's the longest active streak of that kind in the entire NFL.
it's a pretty dismal statistic.
Yeah,
It really highlights how deep their struggles run.
right. It's not just a rough patch.
Yeah.
It's this recurring pattern of underperformance.
Exactly.
And it suggests that there might be some deeper issues within the franchise.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's really going on.
So are these losing streaks just a string of bad luck?
Right.
Or are there some common threads that might explain this persistent trend?
That's the beauty of analyzing these patterns, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can start to connect the dots. Look for those recurring factors that might be contributing to their struggles.
Okay, so what do you see?
Well, one thing that jumps out right away is their defense.
Okay. Their defense, what about it?
Over the past 4 seasons, they've consistently ranked near the bottom of the league in points allowed.
So they're having trouble stopping opponents from scoring,
Exactly.
which puts a ton of pressure on their offense to keep up.
It's like they're always swimming upstream.
Right.
Their offense might have these sparks of brilliance.
Like that third quarter against the Lions.
Exactly. But if their defense can't hold their own, it's incredibly tough to win consistently.
It makes you wonder if these defensive struggles are due to personnel issues,
Could it be?
a lack of talent,
Maybe.
or maybe their coaching strategies just aren't effective.
It's probably a combination of all of those things.
So not an easy fix.
Not at all. They've lost some key players to free agency,
Right.
and they haven't been able to replace them effectively.
Right.
There have been some draft picks that just haven't panned out.
Right. Makes sense.
And then there's the coaching aspect.
Right.
Their defensive schemes haven't been very successful,
Okay.
and they haven't been able to consistently develop young players.
It's just like this multi-layered problem
Exactly. A complex issue.
with no easy solution.
Unfortunately not. But it also presents an opportunity.
An opportunity.
For what? For the Bears to really look in the mirror and make some serious changes.
So what you're saying is,
This deep dive into their recent history,
yeah,
it shows a clear need for a complete overhaul.
they need to rebuild.
They need to address those defensive weaknesses
Okay.
through free agency, the draft, and player development.
Oh, okay.
They also need to take a good hard look at their coaching staff. Make sure they have the right people leading this team.
To get them back on track.
Exactly.
Maybe, just maybe, this Thanksgiving Day loss,
Yeah.
as painful as it was
It was a heartbreaker.
can be the push they need to make that change.
It's definitely a wake-up call.
Right.
A clear sign that the status quo just isn't working.
Things need to change.
They do. The Bears have the potential to be a great team,
Yeah.
but they need to make some tough decisions
Yeah.
and fully commit to a new direction.
So what does that new direction look like?
What are those concrete steps they can take?
Yeah. How do they break free from this cycle of losing and start building a foundation for success?
Well, it all starts with an honest assessment of their strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
They need to figure out who those core players are.
Right, the players they can build around.
Exactly. They need to pinpoint the positions that need immediate attention
Okay.
and figure out where they need to improve in terms of coaching and strategy.
So basically they need to tear down the old blueprint and start from scratch.
Pretty much. They need to be willing to question everything,
Everything.
challenge the conventional wisdom, and be open to new ideas.
And it's a big task.
It is. It's daunting.
But it's also an exciting opportunity.
How so?
It's a chance to completely reshape the identity of the franchise.
That's what makes this whole situation so compelling.
I know.
We're not just analyzing wins and losses.
Right.
We're talking about the future of the Bears.
Yeah.
Their legacy, their place in NFL history.
It's a reminder that sports at its core is about more than just the final score.
It is. It's about human drama.
Right.
Overcoming adversity.
And the pursuit of excellence.
Exactly. And the Bears' journey, as bumpy as it's been,
rough,
is a testament to that.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Bears' Thanksgiving Day debacle, we're left with this sense of intrigue.
Sure.
A mix of frustration and hope.
I get it.
The challenges are clear.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely there.
But so is the potential for a brighter future.
There's always hope.
And for you listening, we'll leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
Imagine you're the general manager of the Bears.
Okay. I'm the GM.
What's your plan to turn this franchise around?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What steps would you take to fix those weaknesses, build on the strengths, and create a team that can consistently compete on the highest level?
It's a challenge, but an exciting one.
It is. Think about it, because the future of the Bears might just depend on those decisions. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking those hidden depths of knowledge.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.